Hello everybody and welcome to Dynamic GT League's Miles Mug for race 8 of 9 from Sardegna. Let's take a quick look at the current championship standings. SGP leading the way, 130 points, 26 ahead of Demon Arm. And SGP can win the championship here if he outscores, if Demon R doesn't outscore SGP by more than 6 points. Steve F1 is in third with David fourth, Jason, then Jimmy, Twilight, Formula Gary, SRI, Conrad, Rich Blues, Hey, Art Pal, Bob, and then Bunsel. Okay, we've got a 40-minute race around Sardegna. It's a little dark out there. Let's join our commentators. So here we go then from, what's that sign say? Oh, Sardegna A in the dark as we get ready to have a look at the grid. And joining me on commentary is Ray. How are you, Ray?
I'm doing very well. How's yourself?
I'm a bit tired. I don't know why. Steve F1's on pole position with Demon R joining him on the front row.
And then we get SGP with Jason in fourth.
Yep, SRI in fifth and Dave the Harp in sixth.
And then Bob and seventh, Rich on eighth, and here on the back of the pack in ninth.
Yep. Unfortunately, a few drivers not available for today's race. Gary, Art Pal, Conrad letting us know on the day of the race that they couldn't make it last minute, which is a bit of a shame. But we're in for an interesting race anyway, I reckon, because this racetrack is a tricky one. So as the lights come on, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, they're going to go out, and the guys are slowly going to pull away now. And it is a slow getaway. It is brr, 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 brr. Sounds like they need to put some new batteries in them.
Yeah, and as we come into his corner, SRI's got a jump on Jason.
Yeah, he has. Having a look up the inside of SGP as well. Steve F1's had a decent run. We'll see a few cars into the barrier or through haze, I'm sure, as we're heading now down to the tricky hairpin. SRI going for a move to the lead, is he? No, Bob's going for a bit of a move as well. And Jason, it's carnage. It's carnage down at Brick Bend.
Yeah, I think SRI just never got his braking right, and I think the same to Bob as Rich nearly smashes into the back of him. I think Bob's hit the wall or something. Bob's slow.
He's slowing down. Oh, Demon on taking a bit of evasive. Yeah, it looks like Bob was slowing down, so maybe he. Oh, who's that? Hey, giving
Rich.
And Rich is in the lead of a race. Oh, someone take a screenshot and send it to his wife. Rich Blues.
Is that more? Is he led more races than Art Pal?
He might have done that, you know. He might have done. Well, let's see if he can hold on to it for a whole lap as they make their way through. Oh, they're both into the wall, and Hayes spun around. Oh, is he going to collect anyone? Yep, SRI. SRI wasn't looking there. Rich is in the barrier at Church of no hope, and Rich has got no hope now. Oh, unfortunate. Dave the Ark coming past. Steve F1 has already passed. Jason having a look. Dave's going wide.
Deep. Demon R as well, just lucky to keep out the grass there, and Dave keeps a move on Rich.
I just want to point out though, Ray, you might want to be careful saying Dave's gone deep. So Dave back into second, Rich now into third place, and I am hearing that we may have some footage of that first lap crash down at Brick Bend for the G-Spot, so that'll be interesting to analyse, I'm sure. Rich Blues is going to cross the line in third place at the moment. Can he? Oh no, he's wobbling, he's wide, that's the barrier. Oh dear.
Demon Art. Who was that in the background?
Bob. It was Bob. Yeah.
Bob.
I mean, Rich was quite lucky there because I must admit, every time I've hit that barrier in sort of driving around here, it spun me around. So Rich has got very lucky there through Hayes Corner. I mean, I did mention we'll see. Oh, Rich! He may have been taking evasive. Oh dear. He'll be lucky that there isn't any runoff here and it's just barriers.
Yeah, well, it might be worse because it's like a 6-point turn to get this car going the right way.
Well, that is a good point. Steve F1 leading the way. Dave the Harpy's closing in on him, though, as somebody got a little bit wide. I think that may have been Hay that got a little bit wide. Demon R ahead of SRI, who's ahead of Jason, who's got SGP right up his gearbox. And we should mention as well that SGP can win the championship in this race. Steve F1's gone deep.
Yeah, is that going to give Dave the Harp the opportunity coming into, I've lost where we are on track, ball bag, not bend?
Yeah, headed into ball bags bends. That's these two corners, because they're absolute ball bags. And Dave's has got the move done. Yep. Wow, I really wasn't watching. I was too busy
looking at track map.
Well, yeah, I was. So SGP, he can win a championship. However, the situation is, Demon R big time sideways. I was about to say Demon R needs to win the race. He doesn't need to be going sideways. SGP, Bob's sideways on the exit as well. So if Demon R can win this race, if SGP finishes 4-4 lower, it goes on to the next race. Pretty much any other finish than that, and the SGP's won it. Without going into too much detail, SGP having a look up the inside of Jason, or is he just getting Jason looking in the mirrors?
I think he was just getting Jason looking in the mirrors. As SRI break.
Yeah, one difficult thing with the hairpin there, Bricks Bend, is if you do get it wrong, like SRA has done a couple of times, there is no escape route. There's nowhere to take evasive other than trying to floor it and go faster into the crash and avoid everyone. But yeah, that could end up being carnage. There's a bit of stick out wall. Bob was lucky there. That concrete wall just there, it does stick out a little bit, so if you get a bit sort of wide into it, it can end your face in the wrong direction.
Yeah, these two that haven't made Brick Bend good side by side, this could be carnage.
That it could be. So this kink through here, normally, it hasn't got a name, but as at the bottom of the flat hills, and the reason it hasn't got a name is because normally it's not a corner, but in these cars it really is a corner. You can't even take it flat out in these cars. So it'd be interesting. Bob's got deep, so's Hay. Bob's taken Hay deep. SGP still behind Jason now. Rich, he got very twitchy there, very twitchy. Now I do know that Rich isn't feeling very well in today's race, and sliding all over the place.
Yeah.
Someone kicked him.
He's sliding over the place as we see SGP on the back of Jason. Well,
it's got a chance here, bit of slipstream. But having said that, do you really want to make a move into Hayes? Probably better off waiting till after. Actually, SGP's not got a good enough run here. SRI has though. Just need to hope the SRI can find the brakes down into this corner.
SGP just. Yep. SRI.
Here we go. Breathe in. No, he's all right. It's all right. He managed to get it stopped. Managed to leave space.
Yeah, I don't know if SGP kind of gave him space as well, because he didn't turn in for the kind of the apex of the corner.
Just having a quick look at the pack cam. Sorry, Dave the Arp leading to Steve F1. Demon R is actually catching Steve F1 by the looks of it. There is a bit of a gap, but Demon R has broken away from the pack. In practice as well, Jason was very, very good at holding up a number of
SRI on SGP. SRI is good in front of SGP. Now side by side, coming to
church. SRI's not stopping, or is he? Yeah, he is. Nice. There are a few different lines that we'll see drivers take through Church and No Hope. And there's one by Rich as well, sideways all over the place. SGP trying to make the move up the inside of SRI, and Jason. And Hay comes through. What a move! Is it? What a move! It is. What a move! SGP's pulled over.
I might have thought it was a wee bit naughty the way he pushed Jason wide.
Yeah, well, I was going to say maybe that's why Jason was wide. Maybe he got a bit of a nudge. as that's really pulled Bob back into this now as well, and somehow Hay now on the back of. Well, actually, no. Jason's just got back past Hay, hasn't he? So I don't know whether Hay sort of was letting Jason through or not.
He's moving over here, by the looks of it.
4 wide, 4 up. Oh, good luck.
Who's going to pull out?
I'm close.
It's not SRI.
No, it won't, definitely not. They're wide. Oh, yeah, Hay into. Well, if anyone's going to hit that barrier, it's going to be Hay into. Oh, SGP had the wheels on the grass. Oh, SRI still can't find the breaking point. Doesn't like that cameraman either. Either that or it's like zoom in for the money shot. Oh, Rich is slow. Oh, has Rich got a problem? Oh, is he? Oh, no, sorry, he's just getting going again. Unless, well, no, I don't think Rich was close enough to SRI to give him a nudge. So Jay's, SGP's all over the place. He's looking at the barrier there, but he's now ghosted. He's now slow. Here comes Hay to have another bite of the rear end of SGP. Looking on the pack cam, looks like that's on Demon R, looking forward to Steve F1 to see if that gap is coming down. Dave Harp, though, still got a healthy lead up at the front, Ray.
Yeah, just hope his nails keep up.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, I mean, I do know he was playing GT7 the night before, so hopefully that won't have had any effect. Actually, we're talking, there is Dave. So on to, where's he going? Oh, he's heading up towards Ballbags. Demon Art really
His tyres are looking good. Demon Art's tyres are looking good as well.
Yeah. Well, Demon Art's
everybody's tyres.
Well, yeah, it's the tyre wear, right? Yeah, there is. There is tyre wear, there is fuel usage. Neither should really be a factor. Although I have heard as well that one of the things we will be looking at this week's G-Spot is Jimmy's attempt to pit when he didn't need to last week. So that's something we'll be having a look at. SGP's got a bit of a run on Jason here, with Bob having a bit of a run on Hay, but Hay's got the slipstream, and that means Bob is not going to be fast enough. Hay's making it tight for him. This could go very badly. Oh, sideways. Yep, thought so. Oh, and Bob got away with it. Oh, and SRI squeezes through just.
Just, yeah. Is it going to stop for this gunner, though? That's a question.
Question. Yes, but that's because he crashed before the corner, so yeah, he was slowed down enough. I do find it quite funny there that Hay kind of went really defensive and made it really tight for Bob. And then Jason's in the barrier. That's let SGP through. He's in the barrier. Who's now on the other side? It's SRI trying to make it through the country run, but he can't quite do it. SGP, can he get slowed down? Oh, he's in the barrier.
He's hit the wall in the turn.
Oh, that was. Yeah.
He turned too early.
Well,
as we head down the hill. What's it called? The flat hills?
Yep, flat hills. That's it. Get that yawn out, right? Flat hills. Yep. Don't worry, you can sleep when you. Oh, Bob up the inside of Jason, who was running in for so long, he tags one barrier and he plummets, and that all ends up happening at the Church of No Hope and down the roofless street.
Bob and SRI side by side.
A Scotsman and Bob a Welshman walked into a bar.
They just walked out of the church.
Well, yeah. Get yourself another. There's wine in there. Bob having a look on the inside. It's cheeky, it's sneaky, but I didn't see nothing wrong with that. So, a Scotsman, a Welshman, and a Swede walk into a bar.
With an English on tour.
Yeah. And we're going to go 4 wide again down into turn 1. Well, we saw what happened last time for Hay. Is he going to get it slowed down? Oh, I don't know. Oh, he's in. No, he didn't. Into the barrier. There's a reason it's named after him. Oh, and this one should be called SR Sorries. Oh, yeah. Oh, Bob. Bob's off.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know if that was SRI or the contact with Bob that made that them both go deep into that corner. It's SGP sitting here in 4th.
Yeah, well,
enough.
Well, it's not enough to win the championship, is it? Well, actually, yes. With Demon R in third and SGP in fourth, if it stays like this, SGP wins the championship because Demon R needs to outscore SGP by more than 6 points. So that's basically how it, what the situation is. So SGP at the moment would win the championship as he makes his way down to the church. I wonder if he's going past their retire. Jimmy should be in this race, and the reason I say that is because people don't hear it, but when he's racing, every now and again we hear Jimmy going, "Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord." So every time we go past church, he could go, "Oh Lord, forgive me, oh Lord, sideways, oh Lord, forgive me." Question.
Yeah. It's not a Mercedes-Benz.
No, that's true. Look at the pack cam. Demon R right up the rear wing now with Steve F1 as the pack. SGP, Jason, SRI, main screen now going to...
Going to be looking for a move here into his corner, or is it going to wait for Brick Ben?
He's having a look, and no, he's not. He's backing out. Oh, sideways!
He's sideways.
Oh, you know he was worried about the wall there. When a car's sideways like that and wobbly, oh, SRI sideways, big sideways, he ain't making that corner, bye. Oh, dear me. Oh, dear. Oh, I'm just seeing as well, it looks like we've lost Rich Blues. I don't know if he turned left when it went right, but he's no longer in this race. I did mention earlier that he wasn't feeling it too well, and maybe just circulating around here is just too painful for him. Either that, or you cursed it last week, Ray, by saying on commentary, even if the guys don't really like this car, they've done really well turning up.
Yeah, but yeah, as long as hopefully Rich gets well soon, feels much better. As we see Demon R going to church, is he going to send Steve F1 down for his sins?
Send him to confession. It'd be interesting to see if they've got different... Yes, he's got different lines through some of the corners. I don't know if which will be faster, but I mean, Demon R's managed to catch up. So it would suggest that Demon R's perhaps got the pace at the moment. Looking at his laps, 58s early on, a couple of 56s, 57 and a half. So, I mean, looking at those lap times, I would guess then that Steve F1 and Dave the Arp have been in the sort of low 57s for Demon R to have been able to catch up as they make their way into turns 3, 2 and 1. And if you wonder why that is, it's because the name for these corners is turns 1, 2 and 3 when we race in the other direction. So now it's...
Yep.
3, 2, 1. What was that TV show where you used to sort of say, "Oh,
Demon R, he's sticking his nose out there."
It's big enough. He might get it broken though. Yes, he's not going for it. I think he's just trying to get Steve F1 sort of thinking about it and offline. Is he going to go for an SRI move? No, he's not. On the pack cam, SGP is ahead of Bob, who is ahead of Jason. So we've, I think Bob and, is that Jason up the inside of Bob? It is, yeah, making a move into the brick bend. And,
I don't think he's got it
Steve
quite finished
F1,
yet.
Steve F1 into the barrier. He manages to hold on. No, he doesn't. Demon R through on the country run before Apple's hairpin.
You say before? I thought you said 4 apples hairpin. I was like, what?
before apples hairpin. Okay, well, it'd be interesting to see if Steve F1 can get back at Demon R, or if Demon R can perhaps put some pressure on Dave the Harp. Bob, he's putting some pressure on Jason now. Jason got through at the hairpin, I would guess.
Yep, and SGP would just be hoping that these keep fighting and everybody leaves them alone, but I don't think that's going to be the case.
I think you might be right.
SRI and Bob side by side, hey, looking for a way through as well.
I mean, one of the interesting things that we've said a few times about this car is it's not like normal cars where, like, if you go for a move up the inside, chances are you might not get the move done because of being on the tighter line and the car's acceleration isn't very good. So sometimes being on a wider line can work out better. But when you've got corners like 3, 2 and 1, obviously each driver's on the outside on different occasions. Excuse me. But yeah, so it's definitely a different type of car to race. So, for example, down into Hayes, as we see Bob looking at making the move, if I was Jason, I'd say, okay, go on then, you try and make it, because you're going to be slower than me round the outside. Yep. Although Jason would say, goody, goody, I can go. Although actually that sounded more like Indian, didn't it?
Yeah.
I can go.
Yeah, Jason's still staying ahead of Bob there, and we've got SRI and Hay try to find a way past Bob.
Oh, Bob.
Oh, Jason's in.
Yeah, Bob gave him a little bit of a touch. Touching the Swede. Hopefully he touches the potatoes in the same way. You've got to respect all of the vegetables. Oh, Bob sideways. And yeah, that can happen in those corners. I mean, we're not really talking much about the run up to Apple's hairpin, but I don't know if you found, or you know, Ray, but I think for me, I think it's kind of got two braking zones for Apple's hairpin, before the kink and after the kink. So I don't think you can get that. Oh, big side!
It's alright, big sideways, yeah. Yeah, somebody spinning in the background, Bob?
Yeah, I think Bob must
Bob was.
Barrier,
yeah. Yeah, because you don't really want to be hitting the brakes while you're turning, because the wheels just kind of lock up and you start sliding along.
Yep, absolutely.
You want to try and be off the brakes while you're turning, and I think we found out at that just before the Apple's hairpin, if you're on the brakes while going round that corner, you're going to slide round it.
Yeah. SGP got a little bit wide there. Looking at the pack cam, Ray, it looks like Demon R is closing the gap on Dave the Art, but SRI making a move on Jason, but Jason's got the slipstream. Is Hay going to give a bump draft? No, he's going to go for a gap that isn't there. And thankfully he's backed out of it. Trying to teach you a lesson, Ray. Trying to show you how it's done.
Well, SRI backed out of overtaking Jason, but Jason's now going for the move on SGP round outside.
And this is where Jason will have the faster exit out of the corner. But, hey! Yeah, that's not how you do it. So, yeah, as Jason, he's not going to be able to get the move done. He may get a switchback, a double switchback. No, can't quite do it. Nice racing, though. Oh, look at the pack cam. Demon R's really closing in on Dave.
Yeah, and after like the turn one incident, Demon R's just got his head down and went into attack mode to try and get back up at the front. Well, he's back up at the front, but you know,
well, interestingly, look
at
the
harp looks as if he's sliding.
Yeah, well, look at his lap times. He was very comfortably 57s and getting faster and faster and faster. Did a 56, and then his next lap was a 58, so maybe a bit of an error. So maybe it's not necessarily Demon R catching Dave. Maybe it's Dave's just had a bit of a wobble somewhere, and that's allowed Demon R to close that gap. SRI under pressure from Hay. Oh, Hay's trying to get his kilt a little lifted there to have a look at what's under it.
Yeah, where's Hay going?
Oh, there he is.
Oh, he's there.
he likes going on the tight bit. Yeah. Okay, so Steve F1 not quite able to keep pace with Dave the Harp Demon R at the moment, but having said that, he's in a very solid position. Oh, Dave dips a wheel. Dave. Can he save it? Into the barrier. He could still save it, can he? He's going a little deep now. Here comes Demon R. Dave the Arp's tyres may have got a little bit hot there. And Demon R does make the move. So yeah, once again, Dave's last lap was a 56, so he's got the pace in the car. So let's see if we can sort of settle it back down and yeah, keep within slipstream of Demon R, because that will help. Oh, a bit of a wobble. That's that wobble you was on about, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't really check the braking to see if he was braking within that area that you don't really want to be braking, but yeah, unlucky for Dave the Harp. One mistake and it's cost him. As we see Jason, Hay and SRI they want to start working together to catch up with SGP.
A Swede, an Englishman, and a Scotsman drive into a church, and the Englishman hits the barrier. But no, I mean, what I will say is Dave the Op's definitely got the pace to sort of latch on to Demon R and still go and win this race. Regarding the championship, though, Ray, this is now a scenario where SGP does not win the championship at this race if he finishes in 4th. SRI got wobbly, but he's making a move on Hay into 3. They're going to be side by side into 2. No, Ray's backed out for a switchback into 1, but he's dipped a wheel, got sideways. And is he going to have the exit? Oh, bleach it.
I think he has. I think he has got the exit. He's got slipstream in him as well. He could just push Jason to get ahead, but he has to be careful. You don't want to push just as you go into this braking zone. Hey, going up the inside.
Oh, they've got through. Oh. Nice driving. Definitely not easy for SRI and Hay to get through there, but it could have ended in carnage, and it really didn't. What I am concerned about for SGP, though, at the moment, Ray, is if it finishes like this, he won't mind. Okay, if it goes to the last race, fine. But I think the gap is just too big to Steve F1 to catch that gap up.
Yeah, I think he's going to, at this moment in time, he's more prone to be getting an attack from Jason, SRI and Hay, as we see Dave the Harp, a 159.
Yeah,
he's had a moment.
Well, that was the one where he hit the barrier, wasn't it, at lap exit of turn 1.
Oh, he's looking a wee bit sliding.
Yeah. I mean, maybe... Jason sliding gives SGP a little bit of a nudge, and here comes SRI. Jason's backed out. Fair play. Jason backing out of that one. Now trying to defend from SRI. He's got Hay up his gearbox as well. Side by side they go into 3. No, they're exiting the ball bags.
Yeah. It's a nice bit of driving there. I think Jason was just giving SGP a hit for his sons.
Oh, yeah, definitely so, I think. Looking at the pack, Hay got sideways. Yeah, Demon R has pulled away from Dave the Arp. So that gap is opening up, and it may be a case of the harder Dave pushes to SRI and Jason side by side. See, this time SRI might want to try keeping it side by side there, because Jason may have risked ended up in the barrier, but fair play, decided to sort of back out of it.
Yeah, that's a first. These free fighting is just giving SGP that little bit of a gap that he's needing now. So maybe if they bash their heads together at the church and start working together, they might be able to actually get on the back of SGP and overtake and make it more interesting for the last race.
Yep. Well, let's see. I mean, looking at the lap times, I mean, Jason's last lap was a 57.2, there's the odd 56 in there. So these guys, I mean, they've got the potential of going faster than the leaders. But when you're in the battles that these guys are having, you're not going to be going that as fast.
Jason's just gave SGP another wee kiss.
Hay was sparking one up in the church gardens. So I mean, these guys, they've got the ability to catch up, but I think they're too much in a race, aren't they?
SRI and Hay just they're being aggressive towards each other there.
That they are, as long as it's all fair in love and peace. So through 3, 2, and 1 they go. And it looks like that gap is getting bigger on the pack cam. SGP ran a little bit wide. That'll give Jason the run. SRI and Hay side by side. We're not seeing Bob for a while.
No, he's just coming out the last corner. Third one.
I wonder.
The last corner, third one.
Actually, correct. But yeah, so maybe Bob was involved and had a big incident some time ago, and it's taken.
Yeah, I remember coming down the hill. He was spinning in the barrier.
Yes, I don't, but I'll say yes.
That I know.
So, well, there he is. We've seen him in the background. So these four closing back up. And one of the things that I will say about in DGT League, okay, the numbers are low for this race. We know that, but we've changed things. Oh, hey!
Oh, hey!
The numbers may go down by one because he needs an ambulance. But yeah, I mean, we changed things recently regarding the protocols of, like, if we know we're going to have less than 10 the day before the race, we'll postpone the race. And unfortunately, like, say, 3 drivers unable to race on the day. So, I mean, the race goes ahead. But one of the things that I do like about DGT League is that even though it's been low numbers on the grid, we've still...
Oh, Jason!
SRI trying to get around the outside as well. Can't quite get it done. But yeah, there's still plenty of action. I mean, there's been race series I've been involved in the past, or I've seen before, where
SRI in the background as well. Jesus, I think they need to calm a wee bit down and collect themselves again. I think they're just pushing too hard.
Oh, look at Demonar's lap times, 56.5. Yeah, 56ers across the board after lap 10. So he's kind of... I won't have a look at Dave. So Dave's pace is
59, 57, and then 56s. Yeah. Steve F1 56, 57s.
Yeah.
SGP's still in the 57s. Yep. 58.
Oh, he's in the barrier!
Oh, he's in the ball!
Oh, SRI was in him as well. Well, that drops S. Oh, Hay must have binned it as well. And Bob has not quite caught up just yet. So SGP kind of gets a bit lucky with that one. But yeah, what I was going to say was, looking at the lap times as we did then, it does look like Dave the Op has got the pace to match Demonar. It's whether he can keep pumping in those 56ers, because Demonar's put in 5 of them in a row, and Dave the Arp did a couple of 57s, then into the 56ers. But
yeah, and he had his 59 when we seen him hit the barrier after Hayes.
Yeah, absolutely. And the interesting thing as well, I mean, do you remember where a couple of races ago when Jason won at Saint Croix, and it looked like he was just driving so slow, but the lap times were phenomenal. I wonder if Demonar's kind of got himself into that kind of zone around this track where drive it slow and the lap times are quick, whereas we see with like these guys, drive it fast, but the lap times are slow.
Yeah, they're just pushing it, and it's hindering them more than helping them.
Yeah, I mean, SRI's last lap was a 58.9. So yeah, nearly...
Well, it was on the inside of SGP.
Oh
no, that was this lap. That was this lap, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. It would be interesting to see what SRI and SGP's laps are this time around. Let's see what SRI's going to get. It might actually not be a bad lap time. It's 56 for SRI. So although he was inside SGP, he'd actually got away with it. So, but this is what... I think that 56 has been possible because these guys, the pack, have been spread out a little bit over the course of this last lap because of SGP's crash. So yeah, the lap times are there. It's just whether they want to sort of be boring and work together, or just go for it to the end of the race, which is only 7.5 minutes
SGP
away.
Isn't. SGP isn't. He's gone for it.
That he is. Down the country run, can't quite get it done. Is he going to have a look up the inside, or is he going to go switch back? No, he's going to give SRI a nudge. Let's see if we can get SRI wobbling into the braking zone, but SRI's got it covered. Jason, nice drift there from SGP.
Yeah, this is where it gets a wee bit risky, going side by side. You got a couple of sticky out walls, and if you have contact in the middle of the road and it pushes you sideways, then you're going to end up hitting it.
Absolutely.
SRI tried to give SGP's hard much time of trying to get past them.
No, they did. Or I think SGP may have been a touch late on the brakes there, but he gets away with it. On the pack cam, still looking at the leaders, Demon R, Dave the Arp. It looks like Dave the Arp is actually closing that gap in again as SGP and SRI. SRI going defensive into 3. That'll send him wide into 1. Will it? SGP going up the inside of 2. SRI is wobbly. He's tight in 1. SGP, but he's caught the back of him. I think SRI may need a parking ticket.
Yeah, well, SGP, he's going to get what he gives out, so...
Hey, it's another 56 for SRI.
Yeah, oh, he's a bit slide there.
Oh, no, sorry. No,
no!
The next one ain't going to be a 50. I was going to say, it looks like 6s in a row, but the timing tower on the right's a little bit weird. It goes lap 13, 18, 17, 16, 17, 18. So there's a couple of duplicate laps in there.
That's what there is.
Either that or that's why SRI has not won a race yet, is because it keeps adding extra laps in places. But yeah, SGP managed to squeeze through. Hey, closing. Oh, he was closing in, but he got big time sideways through the braking zone. Bob is now back here as well. So this is going to become a 5-way battle once again. On the pack cam, still Demon R ahead of Dave the Harp as SRI putting some pressure on SGP down the hill.
Yeah, hopefully they behave at church.
Never. Hey, trying to go around the outside. He might tag the barrier. No, he's got away with it. SRI got wobbly. Hey, may be able to get a move done here.
Yeah, but in the last 5 minutes of the race, that's just where it starts getting.
Oh, Hey! Yeah, Hey did get the run and does make the move. Nice overtake through ball bags. I'm sure SRI will try coming back at him though. SGP's closed the gap on Jason.
Yeah, SRI there got the move done on Hay with a switchback out of the ball bags.
Yeah, Hay got back up the inside though in 1. SRI got wobbly as well. SGP's had a moment as well. Hey could be making 2 moves in 3 corners. He could also be about to crash.
Yeah, we'll see how it
gives
goes.
him the bump draft. Can he hold it? Come on, Hey, get round. Nice. Squeeze those bum cheeks and hold your breath.
Here comes Bob.
I think he just managed to sort of take evasive there. I think he realised he came in a little bit too hot. 4 minutes to go, by the way, folks. 4 minutes to go. Demon R lead is still David Harp second, Steve F1 third. We don't really see Steve F1 for a while. Then we've got Jason fourth, SGP fifth, Hay sixth, SRI seventh, and Bob eighth. The battle still continuing. The championship at the moment will go on to the final race at Cirque de la Sarthe with no chickens.
Yeah, it's turning into 2 different battles here. That you've got Hay, SRI and Bob, and then you've got Jason and SGP. I think SGP's flashing these lights at Jason there.
What do you reckon SGP's lap 17 lap time was?
I don't know, he's not got one. He's cheating.
It may be SRI and Hay big time sideways through church there. Yeah, a little bit odd on the lap time counter, let's put it that way.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that, but now they're all congealing together.
That they are. So Jason under pressure once again. SGP's got he's closer to him, but is he going to have enough slipstream to do anything about Jason? I don't think he is. He's coming under pressure from behind.
Yeah, Bob and Hay pushing each other along. Bob looking a wee bit unsteady. He's coming in.
He manages to sneak through. Is he going to be able to hold on to it though? Yes, he is. No, he's not, because SGP's going to chuck it up the inside. That was a brave from Hay into 1 there. He managed to give space just, and yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be the mental last lap when it comes.
Aye. Well, looking at the looking at the time clock in the race clock in the bottom left corner, I think we've got this lap and maybe one more. Looking at the leading,
SGP sideways. Yeah. That's going to cost him.
It is. He may get lucky. The fact that SRI made a bit of a mistake on the exit of the corner. I think if he hadn't, he'd have been all over SGP here. I was going to say, on the track map, the front three look like the gap between each three of them has equalised, so nobody catching anybody at the moment. SGP having a look, SRI having a look.
You can tell these guys are just riding for that next position. They're giving it all they can.
Okay, 39 minutes. There's 1 minute to go, so there is going to be this lap and one more. Having a look at making a move on Jason on the exit of the ball bags. Can't get it done. Can he get it done into 3? No. Or are they 3 wide behind? 2 wide behind? It's 1 wide and 2 wide behind. Jason's a little wide. That's compromised him. Hayes been compromised. He's too tight. SGP too wobbly. Oh, that could compromise him. Yeah, Jason gets a better exit. But SRI, I think, is too far back to pressure SGP this time.
He's looking up the inside of SRI, so SRI's got his...
Yeah, it looked like SRI went to turn in there, but couldn't. Oh, Bob! Oh! Bob dead. SRI fending off Hay. Oh, Jason's got deep. SGP's got deep. SRI, little nudge, but easily done that when the 2 cars ahead go as deep as they did. Confirmation, it is now the last lap of the race. SGP's out of shape. I mean, he needs to lose some weight, but Jason's had an error somewhere as well. And SRI making a move on SGP through the country run. Oh, but yeah, backs out of it because of the dodgy braking zone.
Oh, a wee tap from Hayes sends SRI a wee bit sideways.
Ooh, Bob, save it, Bob. He has saved it. Well done, Bob. Okay, looking at the pack cam, Demon R is gone through Church already. David Harp's just going through Church now, just exited. So is Steve F1. SRI trying to fend off Hay still as they're making their way down into Church now. Jason, can you hold on? Everybody will be praying.
Sideways through Church. He's pushing. I can see that.
Alright.
SGP needs this other point.
Jason defending. SGP's going to go around the outside. That was Owen. Hay and SRI are off. Well, what a move by SGP. That was the outside move that I was on about, where you have the extra speed. Can he fend off Jason? That's on the pack cam. Demon R's going to cross the line to take the win. Well done to him. David Harp, second place. He's a good result for him. Steve F1, hello. Not seen you for a while. And SGP is in 4th at the moment, ahead of Jason and Bob. Bob's in 6th.
Yes. Jason's not close enough for the line.
He's not, is he? So SGP, it will go down to the last race. Jason finishes ahead of Bob. And then we've got SRI and Hay, who I believe had a bit of a coming together in the ball bags. If you're going to come together, ball bags is the place to do it. As we take a look at Demon R, race winner. Well done to him. I mean, not a lot. Not a lot we missed there. But what a race. May have been low numbers, but still exciting as hell.
Yeah, that was great to watch, and I'm sure the drivers will agree, and the viewers will agree as well.
Hopefully. Demon R taking the win there. I mean, you mentioned it during the race. I mean, after that first lap where there was carnage at the brick bend, the hairpin, the first one, for Steve F1 and Steve F1 to end up leading the race, I think on lap 2 or something like that, and Dave Harp to get through it, and Demon R to come, done very well. For Demon R to then be able to catch up to Steve F1 and Dave the Harp, it's been a while since we've seen a drive like that from him.
Yeah, No, was it not the other couple of weeks ago? He was had to coming together or an incident and then drove through the pack. I can't remember
either. And I'm him, so I don't really know. I know I can't remember. But I mean, one of the things that was, I think, consistency of lap times, I think, may have been the winner in this race. Similar to Jason, as I mentioned, his smoothness and consistency at Saint Croix was phenomenal, and Demon looks like he's done similar today. Dave the Arp, though, he was absolutely flying early on. And until sort of Demon R sort of caught up to him.
Yeah, we've seen this quite a few times with Dave the Harp, where somebody catches up and does he push it too much? And
I mean, is it nerves?
Is it nerves? Is it he was playing GT7 the night before, or is he just pushing it and the tyres are overheating? He's just not letting the tyres have a break to cool back down and go back at it, and then because he's got past him, he's pushing as much as he can to keep up with them. Well, not that. I think that was the wrong phrase to use. Keep up with them to
try and catch back up.
Yeah, because his tyres are already overheated, it's just hindering him.
So I have to say that it could be nerves, it could be GT7. Are you now trying to say that his tyres were gone?
I don't know. I don't know. But yeah. But
I don't know.
It comes like other drivers are the same.
Well, yeah. I mean, you look at how often we saw SGP sideways out of turn 1, the final corner.
Sorry, who? You got out?
SGP at turn 1, the final corner. And it was more than likely sideways there because he was going too fast or sliding the car too much through 3 and 2, which then meant on the exit of 1, he's not got the grip. And yeah, it's so easily. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what happened. Well, no, we saw Dave. I mean, he had that one error, didn't he, where he tagged the wall. Which, he nearly binned it big time through Hayes. Without that, it'd have been interesting to see how the race would have gone, because Demonard would appear to have had decent pace, but Dave showed lap times of being able to do in the 56s as well. So it's just Dave ended up in the 57s a few more times, and that's where the gap comes from then, unfortunately.
Yeah, Demonard was just a wee bit more consistent with his lap times.
Yeah. Steve F1, interesting race for him. Sticks it on pole, nailed at turn 1, gets back into the lead, but then just didn't seem to quite have the pace. It sounds bad saying that, but it did look like he didn't have the pace of Dave the Harp and Demon R in this one.
Let me finish my yawn. Yeah, didn't really see much of him. He just seemed in a wee world of his own. You know, he might have been taking the scenic route through the countryside.
Yeah, he might well have been. But I mean, maybe it's one of those races as well for Steve where perhaps he knows if he tries going that little bit faster, he may go over the limit. I mean, it's like we saw a few cars sideways, like heading up the country run to Apple's hairpin. I don't think we saw Steve F1 or Demon R sideways there. We saw Dave the Art once. Jason wasn't really sideways there. So I'm wondering, like, if there may have been places where those guys were being that little more cautious, which gives a decent lap time over what you could possibly lose, but it also means you may be lacking a little bit of lap time. So maybe Steve was just in a take no risk, stay away from the pack situation.
Yeah, like I can't remember what the championship standings are. Maybe he's trying to kind of keep within.
Well, I think last week Steve F1 overtook Dave the Heart.
Yep.
Whether Dave he'll have closed the gap a bit on him, but whether he's been able to swap it around again, I don't know.
Maybe Dave Steve F1, sorry, is just don't want to take any risk and fall back into the pack and it's switched on the championship standings.
Well, I mean, that's another thing as well. I mean, if Steve F1 pushes too hard, makes a mistake, bins it, SGP gets past, SGP wins the championship, Steve F1's not going to want to even accidentally assist anybody winning the championship. Either that, or maybe it's just his nerves, Ray, or maybe it's GT7.
It could be GT7.
Yeah, it could be. Okay, it was SGP next, wasn't it?
Yeah, he had a tough race. I bet you he was sweating after that race.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a lot of races this championship where he's been comfortably the fastest on track. Whether he was fastest or not today, we never saw the evidence of it because he was too busy in the pack. But
yeah, he was just getting that. If it wasn't Jason, it was SRI. If it or if he and Bob, they five were just four were just five. Sorry,
Yeah.
all attacking each other, given no downtime.
Yeah.
They were just all out.
Well, I think
I'm taking this place. I'm taking this place.
Well, I think there was 2 laps where they weren't battling each other, where they were able to put in a couple of 56s. The rest of the time, it was non-stop action. But yeah, I mean, let's not forget as well. I mean, SGP. I mean, he did it. Hayes on one occasion didn't he? Ended up facing the wrong direction. Might have done it twice, actually. I'm not sure. So yeah, it definitely a tough race for him. What I will say about Jason though is, I can't remember Jason making any errors or having a crash.
Yeah, he hit the. Did he not hit the barrier after Hayes? You know, the country area.
He might have done. Yes, SGP got past him. I think I can't remember.
Yeah, between after Sardines and between country runs, he hit the barrier. I think there.
Yeah.
And I think SGP got past him at that point. Well, yeah, he did, and then SRI went the other side of him.
Ah, okay. Well, other than that, then I think Jason's had a fairly solid race, right in the thick of the action, doing what Jason does. So yeah, don't know what else to say about that, really.
Yeah.
Who was next? Bob. Well, I tell you what, a tough race for Bob, that one. Very little practice, a very tough track in what is a bit of a tricky car to drive. Yes, would appear to have made a bit of an error at the first corner, but I don't think he was the only one, so I'm not going to sort of lay any blame on him, really. So, yeah, and after that, yeah, a few crashes, but your first time in DGT League racing around that track, you're going to have crashes. It's a bit like last week saying, race around an oval, there's going to be crashes. First race, DGT League around a track like that, you're going to have crashes. It's just...
Especially with these cars.
Yeah.
These cars aren't... I think this is one of the hardest cars in the braking zones we've used in the league. So, yeah, for him To finish 6th, he done pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, he could have given up at any point when he was like he had a big crash and ended up way off, but he didn't. He kept on going, and that is the best thing to do. Really, just keep going, because every lap is experience, and if you get a number of laps all on your own, you can perhaps get into a bit of a rhythm. And obviously, with us having boost on, it helps, and he gets back into it. So well done to him. 7th place, I think, was SRI.
No comment.
Yeah, well, an interesting race. Battling with Jason, SGP, and Hay and Bob.
Big feck up in turn 1.
Yeah, we will get onto that in the G spot. Don't you worry. I mean, there's been 14-2. There's now 4-1. 4-1 to all. But yeah, so. Yeah, a big mistake there, but no harm, no foul. In the end,
a massive fighting going on. I can't remember what happened in the last lap. We've seen SRI and Hay off at Bob Higgs.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
I think it was a toughie for SGP, Jason, Bob, SRI, and Hay.
Yep.
All together, all in.
Yeah, I mean, for Hay there, I mean, he's had a tough race again. I mean, I think Hay's had an interesting race, because there was times he put his car into a position, say, heading into Hayes, where had he tried to stay up the inside and go for a move, I fear it may not have worked, and he didn't go for it. He backed out, slotted in, or he made sure it was like safe, giving space. But then there was the odd occasion where he's got unlucky and he's had crashes, and it can happen. It really can. So
yeah, when he made it tight for Bob into Hayes, and then he ended up crashing his.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, karma is a bitch. Sometimes it strikes back instantly, and sometimes it takes a while. But yeah, so a tricky one, and obviously Rich, who didn't finish with not feeling too well, hopefully feels better soon. Okay. Yeah, next race, Cirque de la Sarthe, Le Mans.
No chicanes.
Yeah. Now, I do want to mention about the no chicanes here, because some of the drivers may wonder why. Because when we get on the straight, the Mulsanne straight, it's a long one, and at the moment I don't think I've seen this car go above 187 miles an hour. But one of the reasons that we've got the no chicanes is because this is one of the few cars that we can race around there and get on that straight, and we shouldn't end up 4, 5, 6, 7 wide, or slipstream overtake, re-slipstream overtake, like boosting past and then someone boosting past them, as we've had in the past. So basically, the cars are going to get onto that straight. They're going to get up to about 186 mile an hour. I think it's 185 no slipstream, 186 with slipstream, and 187 at a certain point with a slipstream, or with bump draft. So, and they'll get to those speeds fairly early, and then the cars aren't really going to get any closer or further apart because the speeds are limited.
And then once you pull out from the slipstream to go for an overtake, you've got the drag that push you back in. Yeah,
and I mean, it's not going to be as massive as other cars we've driven. It's going to drop you down to like 185 mile an hour, but it does mean that you may struggle to make the overtake. So it's going to give us an experience down the Mulsanne that hopefully we've never had before. But
maybe have people working together.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. If you've got somebody out in the lead only doing 185 mile an hour and 2 cars behind bump drafting, slipstream and doing 187, they'll close the gap in. Not a lot, but a little. So, yeah.
Every little helps.
That it does. So, yeah, it'll be an interesting one. As for the rest of the track, yeah, it's not that bad, actually. I would say to the drivers, don't fear it. Enjoy it. It's good around there. Well, goodish. As good as you could hope for a Ford GT40 road car on comfort soft tyres. But yeah. Other than that, I don't know what to say because it'll be the championship decider as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure SGP just has to finish. Well, no, I'm sure. I think for Demonar to win, he needs to win the race and SGP not finish, pretty much. Because I think with us doing points all the way down to last, 16th, I think the other way would be Demonar win, SGP finish 16th on 1 point or something like that. So, yeah. But I'll check the permutations. But, I mean, some would say it's in the bag. And some might not. So, yeah. Anything else to add, Ray?
Yeah, you never know. Might have a full grid and either Demonar has a moment and is stuck at the back or SGP's stuck at the back.
Well, yeah, could be a disconnection. Anything could happen.
I wonder if anybody's going to get in the way of their battle if they're close together.
I hope so, because that makes it more interesting, makes it more exciting. As frustrating as it might be, it makes it more exciting. I mean, I would not want to see anybody going, "Oh, I won't battle you because you're trying to win the..." Nah, get your nose in. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens anyway. Also, the drivers, I believe, have been sent a potential calendar for over the Christmas period. So just to sort of mention it now. Obviously, we've got the race next week. If that happens to get postponed, I think we've got one more Thursday. We could potentially get the race in on. But yeah, next week, hopefully Thursday, that'll be the last race of this season. And then from there until the new year, it will be random races. And then we'll do the ARC race, which will be the Lamborghini in the first week of January. Some maybe won't come.
5th of January.
5th of January. The track has not been decided yet. That vote is still ongoing. I think it's down to 3. And the tyres haven't been decided yet. They won't be decided until the track has been decided. So just so folks know about that one. Also, sorry, go on. You were going to say something?
No.
Okay. Also, we are going to reveal the next championship car very, very, very soon. We haven't been in a rush to do it. There's still some things to be confirmed with it, but we are going to, I believe, confirm the car, the power, the weight, and the tyre. As for everything else, you'll have to wait and see. But we've got a few weeks over the Christmas period anyway, so we've got time. That's why I've personally not been in a rush to sort that out. Okay, unless you've got anything else to add, Ray, I think we're done for the moment.
No, I have nothing else to add.
Okay.
Other than great racing.
Yeah, great racing and not a single bad joke. Right, on to the confirmed race result and the championship standings. So no reports placed this week, so no penalties given out. Demonar taking the victory, the maximum 20 points, with Dave the Harp in second place, 17 for him. Steve F1 in third, 15 points. Then we've got SGP, 7 points behind Demonar, so the championship will go down to the final race. Jason in 5th place, Bob in 6th, SRI in 7th, Hay in 8th, and Rich Blues in 9th, with a DNF not scoring any points. As I mentioned, SGP not champion yet, and means as well he doesn't need to do the Champions Challenge at the next circuit, which is Cirque de la Sarthe. But he has got a great opportunity to win the championship at that final race. For Demonar to win it, he basically needs to win the race and SGP to not finish. That's the only way he can win it, really. Okay, so let's take a look then at the standings. SGP Top of the tower, 19 ahead of Demon R in second place. We then got a right good battle going on for third. Steve F1 on 107, Dave Harp on 104. So third place up for grabs. Fifth place, I think Jason might just have that covered, 77 points for him. And then we've got a great battle again for sixth. Jimmy on 64, Twilight 62, SRI 60, Formula Gary 57. I think any one of those four could end up in 6th place at the end of the championship. Conrad in 10th place on 49 points. He's 4 ahead of Rich Blues, so Rich has got a chance of catching Conrad unless Conrad can make an appearance at Le Mans and keep Rich in his place. Hay in 12th on 37 points, only 2 ahead of Bob. And then we've got Art Power in 14th on 26 points, who's missed a few races this championship. And then Bunsell, as we've mentioned many times, yet to score, but he's been getting the dough out, and he says he's getting ready to deliver. You just need to take a time. You just need to take a bit of time and let the dough rise to a decent level, and then many of you won't get what I was saying there, but basically it was a pun on the fact that he's delivering bread now. Anyway, one race to go. Le Mans, the Ford GT40, the Miles mug. It'll come to an end at that race. Champion may have one hand on the trophy, or the mug, I should say. So yeah, SGP, just one race to go to get his next championship. Or are we going to see the most dramatic turnaround in DGT history? Well, it wouldn't be history making if it wasn't the GT40, would it? Alright, thanks for watching, listening. You know what to do: like, subscribe, hit the notifications bell. Merch is available, check out the link in description. Have a good one, everybody, and we'll see you all again soon.